Welcome to the Liberty and Democracy Podcast. Are you a passionate believer in liberty and democracy? Are you concerned about the growing infiltration of Marxist and socialist ideology in our politics, media, and culture? This podcast was created by a citizen of the United States who was born and raised in Romania, a socialist country in Eastern Europe, during the 1970s and 1980s. As more and more members of our youth pivot towards Marxism, socialism, and communism in the United States of America and beyond, now, more than ever, it is important to focus on liberty and democracy, instead of the alluring Marxist and socialist trends which, as history repeatedly has shown, lead to repressive authoritarian regimes. Marxism does not lead to utopia either in the United States of America, or anywhere else in the world. Let us question governments, policies, and manufactured social progressivism. Let us go back to the times when it was okay for us to agree to disagree.
Welcome to the Liberty and Democracy Podcast. For the next few months, our podcast episodes published on Fridays will include excerpts from Maestro Cercia's ebook, The Fall of California Under Leftist Rule, to help you understand further the negative effects of Marxist and socialist ideology that has turned perhaps the most beautiful state of the United States of America into a state people struggle to survive, and often wish to leave. Are you ready? Let's begin.
Welcome to the Liberty and Democracy Podcast. In today's episode, we will listen to Maestro Cercia's ebook, The Fall of California Under Leftist Rule. And now, let's focus on Chapter 1, Calamity of Socialist Policies, including Subchapter, California's Economic Evolution. Are you ready? Let's begin. Chapter 1, Calamity of Socialist Policies. California's Economic Evolution. A troubling descent into socialism. As a proud citizen of California, USA, it pains me to witness the tragic economic decline of this once prosperous state. Growing up in the socialist wasteland of Romania, I had a front-row seat to the destruction that Marxist ideologies can inflict on a society. Now, it is with a heavy heart that I trace the historical timeline of California's economic evolution under the corrosive influence of socialist policies pushed by short-sighted politicians. The roots of California's economic woes can be traced back to the late 1960s, when a new generation of progressive leaders began to gain traction in the state's political landscape. Fueled by a misguided vision of social equity and a disdain for the free market, these individuals set out to reshape California's economic foundation in the mold of their socialist ideals. One of the earliest and most damaging shifts came in 1967, with the implementation of the Mulford Act. This legislation, signed into law by then-Governor Ronald Reagan, effectively disarmed law-abiding citizens in the name of public safety. The impact of this move was immediate and devastating, as it empowered criminal elements and eroded the sense of security that had long been a hallmark of California's communities. As the 1970s dawned, the state's economic trajectory took an ominous turn. The passage of Proposition 13 in 1978, a well-intentioned attempt to curb skyrocketing property taxes, inadvertently opened the floodgates for government overreach. This measure, while initially providing relief to homeowners, also deprived local municipalities of critical funding, setting the stage for a gradual but relentless expansion of state-level control. The 1980s saw the rise of a new breed of politicians who embraced the siren song of socialist policies. Emboldened by their perceived mandate for change, these leaders embarked on a crusade to reshape California in their own image. From the implementation of restrictive environmental regulations to the imposition of burdensome labor laws, the state's business climate steadily deteriorated, driving companies and jobs out of California in droves. The 1990s and early 2000s witnessed a troubling acceleration of this trend, as successive waves of left-leaning politicians solidified their grip on the state's governance. The passage of AB 32, the California Global Warming Solutions Act, in 2006 marked a particularly concerning milestone, as it placed crippling constraints on the state's energy sector and further eroded its competitive edge. As the 21st century progressed, the relentless march of socialist ideology continued unabated. The implementation of the Affordable Care Act, commonly known as Obamacare, in 2010 dealt a devastating blow to California's healthcare system, leading to skyrocketing costs, diminished access to quality care, and a mass exodus of medical professionals seeking greener pastures elsewhere. The crowning achievement of California's descent into socialist oblivion came in 2016 with the passage of Proposition 57, which effectively neutered the state's criminal justice system. This misguided initiative, coupled with the state's embrace of sanctuary city policies, has turned once vibrant communities into breeding grounds for crime and lawlessness. Today, as I gaze upon the crumbling infrastructure, the exodus of businesses, and the growing tide of homelessness and poverty, I am reminded of the haunting parallels between the California I see before me and the socialist nightmare I escaped from in Romania. The once golden state has become a cautionary tale, a stark reminder of the corrosive power of socialist ideologies when left unchecked. It is my fervent hope that the citizens of California will heed the lessons of history and rise up to reclaim their state from the clutches of those who would seek to remake it in the image of their failed socialist doctrines. Only by rejecting the siren song of Marxism and embracing the proven principles of free market capitalism can we hope to restore California to its former glory and ensure a brighter future for generations to come.
Thank you for listening to today's episode of the Liberty and Democracy Podcast. We hope you found today's content interesting, intriguing, and useful. You're invited to join us again, as our podcast episodes are now published every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. In the meanwhile, don't forget to stop by our website at www.libertarian.center or our Liberty and Democracy YouTube channel at bit.ly/democracyvideos.